beyond time and space that now wait before us. Through sunshine and shadow, we must take the path unknown. Ahead is an undiscovered country of the unexplored. We will endeavor to embrace the mystery. We must dare to face the darkness. Come with me now. It's time for us to go. Hunting the shadows. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dennis Carroll, and I'm your host for this episode of Hunting the Shadows, episode 53 of Hunting the Shadows. I want to welcome all of you here. Come on in, friends. Let's sit down. We're going to have an interesting evening ahead of us. We've got some fascinating stuff to talk about. Got some announcements to make. Got some other things we're going to get into. I hope you all have had a pleasant week so far. This is Hump Day. That's one good thing you can look forward to when Hunting the Shadows gets here. It's Hump Day, okay? Definitely. Unless you're retired, then it doesn't matter, all right? But anyway, it is Hump Day, and we made it over the hump, thank goodness. And I hope you all are having a fantastic week. I hope everything's going good for you. Want to welcome all of my friends in the chat room now gathering. That includes Aussie Sue and Urso and the girl and her gong, Wizard Moon, Midwest Night Watchers, Ada, and who else we got? Demaria, and we've got Mr. David Lester. My brother David Lester is in here tonight. And Roger Blair. Come on in. Let's fill up the chat room. We got some interesting stuff to talk about. I'm going to be talking about some kind of heavy stuff tonight, okay? And we're going to get into that in a little while. I got to make a few announcements. First up, I don't know, those who are members of probably, you've been notified by now that my memberships have been paused. For what stupid reason, I don't know, okay? But I'm not being able, they're not monetizing me right now. But hopefully I can get it resolved. I don't know. But big news, okay? I now have a Patron, okay? There it is. Patron Hunting the Shadows podcast, okay? And if you'd rather go with it, it's going to be $5 a month. If you'd rather join it, feel free to do so. You're going to get some special stuff for it. I'm going to have you some special videos and all that coming up. Especially now that I've got Patron. I can do it better with the Patron, actually, than I can the YouTube memberships. So we're going to have some real fun with that, okay? So all you got to do is click on that link and sign up. If that's what you want to do, and you can become a fellow shadow hunter, okay? And if you don't get the link and you want me to send it to you, then all you got to do is drop me a line at DennisWCarroll.com. That's one way to reach me, or you can just send me an email at DennisWCarroll@gmail.com, okay? Like I say, for anything. That does not just the Patron, but the everything, okay? If you want to talk to me, got a question. I've had some interesting cases this week. I've had one shadow person thing that cropped up, and it's taken, I can just say generally, it's in the city of Hartwell, Georgia, and it's a shadow figure, definitely, and it's not a good kind either, by the way. And I had an interesting case on that this week, and let me turn my ticker on right quick. There we go. And I actually consulted on that. I didn't go and do anything about it, so it was a consultation. But it's kind of freaky how that happened right after we talked about, I did the thing on how to deal with shadow person encounters. And if you missed that, it is on my YouTube channel. It's in the shorts. It's a short one. It's a short tutorial along with how to make your holy water. There's a couple. I'm going to be dropping a few more tutorials in there, okay? And so be watching for them. And also be watching for more scary stories by candlelight, okay? I'm going to be dropping one of those this week. And I dropped not one, but 2 episodes of The Midnight Road, Excursions into the Unknown. They were fantastic. You need to watch them if you haven't seen them. They're free. They're on the YouTube. Just look them up. Episode 1 and 2. The first episode is The White Thing. And that's not like what Jessica was talking about today with the white thing, as we say in the South. No, this is the white thing. This is a completely different thing. I tell about that, and I also tell about the lonely grave of Maud Broderick. You want to hear that story? It is fantastic. Now, these are real cases that I have had a hand in investigating in, okay? So check them out, and there are going to be some more coming up on the Midnight Road, Excursions into the Unknown. Okay, so check it out. We got a lot of stuff going on, folks. Absolutely. Matter of fact, I got a interview coming up with Dave Scott next month, and I've also, I think, in about 2 weeks, about a week after next, got Mr. Drewinski from Cryptid Warfare. He's gonna be a special guest on the show that night. We're gonna have some fun. So we have some interesting stuff coming up, and then in December, early December, Mr. Dacre Stoker will be back here with us to discuss some more about Dracula. So you don't want to miss that. So we've got some other fun stuff planned for you out there. I promise you one thing, okay? You're not gonna be bored. All right. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to let you go into the unknown alone. And I'm not going to let you get bored while we're doing it. Okay? All right. Hello, Melissa. Good to have you here. And, yeah, Shen Valley Girl. Shenandoah Valley Gal. And, let's see what else we got. It's slowly picking up here. Okay. All right. We've got a lot of interesting stuff. I want to talk about something first for the ladies out there, okay? And this has been on my mind for a while, and I want to get it out. And I'm always looking out for you ladies, okay? Don't think I'm not. I'm on your side, okay? And that's where you gotta be if you want peace in this world. Be on the women's side, okay? But anyway, uh seriously though, there's been something I've been thinking about. I did a show not long ago about the incubus and the succubus and the demon seed and all that. And this is how the darkness exploits women. Okay. Well, they're doing this to men too. But they exploit humans this way. Okay. And but there's something that's been on my mind cryptid wise. Not just demonology thing here, but cryptid as well. And I think sometimes they definitely overlap, okay? But there's been something on my mind for quite a while, and I want to get it out, especially want to talk to the women about this, okay? And the darkness really likes to go after the women. I don't know why that is, okay? I've had people ask me a lot about that. And I think it's just because women are very sensitive and they see things differently. I think there's a definite reason. I think that's just the way God made you, okay? And that's okay because that's what being a woman is about, and I can't really understand that because I'm not a woman, I'm a man, but still, I can see where that's coming from, okay? But it seems like the darkness, and I have done that. I'm going to say this I have been in many demon infested places. I've had a lot of demon cases in my time. And every time they attack families, who do they go after first most of the time? Mama. That's who they go after. Okay. They go after her first. And I'm going to tell you, that's not because she's the head of the household. Supposedly the man's supposed to be head of the household. A lot of families, it's not that way, but I'm not going to get into that tonight. But they know that the heart of the family is the woman. Okay. I gotta say that, folks. I gotta say that, guys. Okay, I hope you agree with me. But the heart of the family is the mother, the woman, and that's where exactly they go to. That's exactly what they go after. Not because she's a so-called weaker sex, okay? Because I like strong women, and I've known a lot of strong women, and I don't think they're the weaker sex in that respect, okay? But it's not that reason. They go after the woman because she's the heart of the family, okay? Most of the time, she's the cement and the glue holding that family together. Okay, that's just the way that goes. Um, and they know where to strike the best at. They know where to go. Well, women are nurturers. That's true, and but that's part of their makeup as well. The mother instinct kind of a thing too. I mean, I can see where all this is leading to, but they still go after the woman first most of the time. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that. I'm not going to get into that. That's not what it's about. But I'm gonna turn it over to the cryptid side for a moment. And I want to warn some of you ladies that go cryptid hunting. Okay, this includes my good friend Jessica. This includes Girl and her Gong, and a lot of you out there that actually, that includes Melissa and all the rest of you that go out in the woods and you do some cryptid hunting. You do some Bigfoot research or dogman research. I want to warn you, okay? I want you to be very, very extra cautious because, and I've been thinking about this for a long time. I have seen, and I have reviewed in my lifetime thousands of cases, okay? And there is one distinctive thing when it comes to women in these cases that there have been, I'm just going to say it, I'm going to throw it out there. There's been a lot of women raped by Bigfoot in the past, okay? I know that sounds weird and that sounds crazy, but I'm not making this up, okay? Now, I'm not saying it's a ton of them, of these cases, but there are a good many where women are sexually assaulted by Bigfoot. And some women are actually taken away and abducted by Bigfoot to become his concubine or whatever way you want to say it. That is a definite danger, ladies, that you run into when you do this. And I want you to understand that. And I want you to be safe out there, okay? But understand that. And it is not a good idea for you to do this kind of research at certain times of the month, if you know what I'm getting at here, okay? Be very cautious about that. Also, of course, that's your own personal preference. I'm not here trying to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you be cautious because this is a fact. Okay. This is a factor in this. And we got to remember. Matter of fact, I watched a movie today, and it's not just because of this movie. I mean, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I watched a movie today called Willow Creek. If you've never seen it, you might want to check it out. Okay. And it's done sort of like a found footage kind of a movie, but it does hark back to a lot of these cases I'm talking about of women being abducted, sexually assaulted by Bigfoot, and some men have reported this happening to them as well. Okay, it's not just the women, but this is going on. Okay, and you don't hear anybody talking about this. And we need to get it out in the open and say, hey, yes, this does happen. This is a factor. This is something we need to watch out for during this research. Okay. There have even been several cases, supposedly, where dog men have actually sexually assaulted women. Okay. I've heard a couple of cases of that. So this is not that far fetched. Okay. And we do know the demonic loves to do that to women. Okay, that's where your incubus comes in and all that. They like to do this junk. I'm not gonna get deep into that tonight. I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay. That you got to be cautious and be very I think this may be one reason, I'm not saying the only reason, but one reason a lot of women disappear out in the woods never to be found again. Okay. This could be a possibility of what's going on because the American Indians used to would tell their women not to go alone in the woods, even in daytime, They always went out in groups, and it wasn't because of other tribes. That was one reason. It wasn't because of being abducted by other tribes, but it was also a factor that maybe possibly having an encounter with Bigfoot that would not be good. Okay. I'm just throwing that out there for you, and I want you to think about it. Okay. Girl Gone says, I'm extremely careful when I go out cryptid seeking. You got to be, because that's another factor. And I just wanted to put it out because you don't hear anybody talking about it. Okay. But it is a factor. It is a factor, and it's there, and we need to recognize that is a risk that you run. Okay. Because we don't know that much about Bigfoot. I believe he's procreating in certain ways. Okay. And this could be one of them. Okay. We don't really know for sure, but it's a possibility. But nevertheless, if this is happening, be cautious. Okay. I just wanted to put that out there for you ladies that do go out in the woods and all that. So be very careful. I don't care if you're just going on a picnic. Okay. Keep your head on swivel and a very close eye on your six. Okay. All right. Hello, Brown Dwarf. Good to have you here, sir. And yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there tonight. Okay, that's not my main discussion tonight, but I just want to get that out there. But since we're talking about cryptids and all that, that brings me to our main discussion tonight. We're going to be talking about three things that I've had on my mind for a little while here. And as you know, I try to keep my finger on the pulse of the paranormal, and that includes demonology. Okay. And there's been some really weird stuff going on. First, I want to talk about conjure spells. Okay, let's talk about that a little while. And I think this relates to a lot of cryptids. I believe, without a doubt, knowing what I know, and I'm just going to throw this out there. Okay, I'm going to be brazen tonight. Okay, I'm going to blaze some trails here. I believe a lot of cryptids that we are encountering may be conjured or brought forth from the darkness for certain reasons. Okay. Let me make a quick point for you. If I were a black warlock, a dark warlock, or whatever name you want to call me, wizard or whatever, if I were a bad dude playing around with the forces of darkness, black magic, and all this stuff, and I wanted to get you, let's just say I'm gonna pick on Brown Dwarf tonight, okay? He's my good brother. I can pick on him when I want to once in a while. I'm gonna pick on. Let's say I really wanted to get really wanted to get Brown Dwarf. Okay, what if I conjured up something like a dog man and sent him on his trail? You would be in bad trouble, Brown Dwarf. Okay, because here's the reason for that. When you conjure up something like that, when you call forth the darkness and you set it on somebody's trail, it don't give up. It don't stop till it gets done usually what it's going to do. And a lot of these cryptids that we hear about, especially dog men, sound to me like they're sent on missions to do something. If I send something like that after you, Brand, or whoever my victim is, it will not stop till it does what it needs to do to you. Okay? That's just the way dark magic works, and that's the power of the demonic. Okay? And like I was talking about women being sexually assaulted by Bigfoot. Okay. These things can assault you spiritually as well, not just bodily, not sexually, but they can assault you spiritually as well. We got to think about that too, you know. And hello, Jessica. Good to have you here tonight, dear. And that was a good show you did today on the white thing. I like it. Okay. Anyway, the whole thing was, if you conjure up something like this, okay, and you send it on a mission, this is what we call a conjure spell. This is where you bring forth the darkness. Okay. Now let me show you. I got a little picture to show you here. Hold on just a second. If you conjure something up, if you call forth the darkness, you will bring forth something like This right here will happen. What is that? That, my friends, is a portal, spiritual doorway that you open up for the darkness to come out of. Whatever you call forth from that darkness, and it is usually demonic, okay, without a doubt. Whatever you call forth out of that darkness, it ain't going to stop till it gets this work done. Usually, unless a light worker or a good person intervenes for you. You know, that can happen, definitely. Somebody can stop that. But and there are shamans that know how to do it. There are certain people that know how to do that. There are demonologists that know how to do it. They can stop that conjure spell. But that's what happens when you perform a conjure spell. You open that doorway and anything can come out of it, especially anything that you call by name can come out of that. Okay. And like if I really were wanting to get even with somebody, have it go after somebody, that's what I would be doing. So let's talk about that a minute. Conjure spells. This is a real thing. This is part of witchcraft, my friends. Okay. Just the same as love spells, death curses, money spells, good luck spells, and you also got conjure spells. You can bring forth, and you can call forth guardians. These demons are called lurkers of the threshold, as H.P. Lovecraft called them. These demons are guardians. They can hang around certain places if they have meeting places out in the woods, places that they consider to be their sacred or unsacred places, you might say. They will put a guardian around it, usually an imp of some sort, something like that. I've run into a guardian. That's the thing that tried to kill me one night on the stairwell. Physically tried to kill me. Okay, it was a guardian. It was a conjure spell, my friends. Okay, that's the way these things work. Uh, we gotta understand when you open doorways like that right there. It's incredibly hard to shut them back in, especially if you don't know the correct way to do that. Now, I've had people ask me, how do you do that, Dennis? How can you open that door? I'm not going to tell you how to do it because you might be crazy enough to try it. Okay. I'm not going to tell. You know, I've had a lot of people over the years come to me. How do you do this? How do you do that? How do you call up a demon? I'm not going to tell you how to do that. I know how to do it, but I'm not going to tell you how to do that because you might try it. And I don't want your blood on my hands, okay? And I don't want your soul on my hands, okay? I'm not going to tell you. So forget that. But it can be done just as real as opening a physical door. Just as real as that spirit attacked me on those stairs that night, trying to take my life. It was real. I felt its claws on my back, okay? I mean, this is nothing hallucinations thing here. This is not a hallucinatory type thing. This is real stuff. I had bruises on my back from that, where the claw marks were. You know? I mean, scratches and bruises on my back from this attack. This was a physical attack. A lot of times we always talk about spiritual attacks. But look, when you open that thing right there, when you open that doorway, okay, it's incredibly hard to stop whatever comes out. It can be stopped. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying it's hard to do it. And once you open that door, you don't know what you're going to get, but you're going to pay a price for doing that. Okay? You will eventually pay a price. It spiritually costs you to do that. Okay? And you don't want to go there. But anyway, I'm just saying that's what it looks like. And then that's when you have stuff like this right here show up. Okay? Shadow people, demons, stuff like that. That's a good representation. I've seen them look like that, even with the glowing eyes. I don't know if you can see the glowing eyes with that. I've had them look like that. Okay, that's what you get. Yeah, that's what Girl Gong says. Don't open that Pandora's box. No, no, no. You don't want to do that. because you don't know what you're really dealing with, okay? I have been in places where demons have been called up, my friends, and something bad went very badly wrong there. I'm not going to get into the details, but it was not a pretty sight, okay? I'm just going to say that. And that's what I was saying. And if you didn't get a chance to hear that, Cryptid Huntress, I was warning the ladies about going out in the woods. Be very careful because there are a lot of cases of women being sexually attacked by Bigfoot and certain other cryptids as well. It's not just Bigfoot alone. That is a factor and a possibility. But when you open doorways and you call forth things like that right there, okay, you don't know what you're really dealing with, okay? And things will go sideways real quick on you. Trust me, it will. Because these things don't play around. They get the job done. If you don't stop them or you don't thwart them and keep them doing, they will get the job done. It's like I said about the demon, the hounds of hell, okay? They are demons, okay? And if you ever hear them, they are on the way to get you. They are on an unstoppable mission to drag you to hell. That's what hellhounds do. They don't stop on their mission unless somebody intervenes for you. God can stop them. Somebody with the power of God backing them up can stop these things cold. But you better know how to do it, and you better have you better have the right people to do this. You don't want to deal with this to begin with, okay? That's the main thing, okay? I want to talk about tonight. But that's conjure spells. And I believe a lot of these cryptids we're encountering, these dark cryptids and things, I believe are brought about sometimes, many times, by conjure spells. That includes these big fat phantom black cats that are seen. That includes some of these feral hogs that are talked about. Yes, hogs. I'm not, and of course there are black dogs too. There are a lot of these different cryptids you hear about are brought about by this very thing, conjure spells. It's a real thing, okay? Anybody that knows the true magic of the Appalachian Mountains will tell you this. It can be done. I was going to bring to mind something that I thought about. Have any of you ever seen the Twilight episode of Jezebel? Have any of you ever remember seeing that Twilight Zone episode? Jezebel. It's about a witch. Her name is Jezebel, and she can turn into a big black leopard. Have you ever seen that? It's a very well known Twilight Zone episode. But that comes straight out of the Appalachian Mountains, okay? They even talk about that in the episode. If you've never seen it, try to catch it sometime. Joe Oregon says the witches strip you of your guardian angels first before they send the demons. Oh, yeah. Well, they try to thwart your guardian angels or distract them or keep them away from you. They know how to isolate you. They isolate you so they can attack you even better. That you won't ask for help, and you can't ask for help. That's the situation they want to get you in, even the help of your guardian angels. We got to remember that's the way these things work. But you don't want to mess around with conjure spells, and you got to understand that that's going on in this world. Okay? Now, we have talked about, as a matter of fact, we talked about this on one of Jessica's shows that I did. You know, all these pop music stars now doing these rituals on stage and all this stuff going on with Miss T Swift and all this other stuff, okay? Why are they doing that? You know, it's not entertainment purposes. You see the little sign at the beginning of my show. This is for entertainment purposes only, okay? That's not what that's about, folks, okay? We got to understand they are doing rituals for one reason and one reason only, okay? And there are many different reasons. I could do 3 or 4 shows for you on nothing but the rituals, okay? That's what it's all. But the rituals are for one thing and one thing only. They are to raise the cone of their power. And if you're just standing there passively watching it, I got bad news for you. You're included in it. You are helping. You are helping them raise that cone of power, you are participating. Whether you think you are or not, you are. It's as long as it's going through these two eyes right here and you're watching and you're hearing it through your ears, it's going inside of you. You're participating. Whether you want to or not, you are helping them out by watching that. Okay? Guess what you can do? You can close your eyes and walk away or get away from them and don't watch it. Okay? Don't help them out. But that's what's going on with a lot of their rituals. Okay? That's when witches and Luciferians and vampires and all these other dudes get together in covens and groups. They're not talking about their knitting. They're not knitting socks here in these groups, okay, folks? No, they're not doing that. They are raising their cone of power. That's what they're doing. And the more people they got in their group, the more powerful the coven is. The more demonic things they can get done. They can change shape. They can turn into things. And it's not just wolves. Skinwalkers don't turn into just wolves, okay? Skinwalkers are witches, okay? We got to understand that. That's what you're talking about. Call them skinwalkers, whatever you want. They are witches, nevertheless. That's what they are. And that's what I'm talking about here tonight. And that's the way they get their power. They raise that cone of power. It gives them the shape-shifting abilities to do what they want to do. They can become tigers. They can become wolves. They can become ravens. They can become hogs, dogs, cats, whatever. They can look like people. I've seen them look like little children. Let me run that by you again. I've seen them look like little children. They were far from being little children, my friends, okay? They weren't the real thing, okay? This goes on. This is what they're looking for. This is their main goal. And they do it with different types of magic. They do it with sex magic, ritual magic. They do it with their power magic. They do it with black magic, of course. There are different types of magic that they use to accomplish this. Okay, we've got to remember it's all about the magic, whether they're using sex magic, pain magic. Yes, they use pain in their magic, like sadomasochism. They use that. Okay, they like to chain up people and torture them. They get the adrenaline out of them that way. It goes on and on and on, folks. It is deadly, dark, deep, and dreadful stuff that you're thinking about here, which includes cannibalism, blood sacrifice, and murder. Pure out murder, okay? Whether they cut the baby out of the mother or they cut it up on the altar while it's still alive, whatever, it's still murder. Very deadly, dark murder, okay? I gotta say that. But that's the way that ball bounces, okay? But that's the rituals, okay? The ritual, you gotta understand, increases their power. Okay, they go higher up on the rung of the ladder by doing these terrible things to get that power they want. And the power not only gives them the ability to shapeshift, it gives them the man or woman that they want and make slaves out of them. It gives them the money and the power and the fame and the glory. It gives them all of that stuff that they want, but it won't give them one thing that they seek. It won't give them immortality. Okay, so they're still looking for immortality, and they're looking for any way to get that immortality that they possibly can. Okay, but you don't matter to them. You know what you are to them, just like the vampires look at you. You know what you are to them? You're cattle. That's what you are. You're blood cattle. That's exactly what you are. You're fit for nothing but the blood. That's all. And that's the way the governments will eventually treat you. That's the way people in power. And what does the Bible say about that? Very plainly, for we struggle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, the rulers of darkness in high places. What did I tell you before? Come November, guess what? Some of the people you vote for may be demons. Okay, it just come out just a few minutes ago. There's a certain political party. I'm not going to mention any names, but it starts with a D, and it sounds kind of like that word. What, demon rats? Anyway, voted against a bill that would have deported sexual offenders that are here illegally. They voted against it. What kind of freaking fools are they? You gotta ask that question. What's going on with that? You got some people that are not real people there, friends, okay? They're either demon possessed, they're under demonic influence, or they're not even real humans. Don't vote for them November. Okay? Trust me, you don't want to vote these guys in. Hello, Pancho. Let's see. I thought they had made beds to live forever. They're trying to live forever. They're going to use cloning and robotics and AI and all this other stuff. They're searching for the true way they can actually have immortality. And it don't matter what they got to do to get that. Just like the ancient royal line bloods in this world are all connected to this, okay? They're the ones who have the power. They're the ones who have the money. They are the ones who will put in power the Antichrist. Let me repeat that again for you. They are the ones who will put in power the real Antichrist. He'll spend 2 hours with them and come away with all the power in the world. They will give it to him because that's who their leader is. That's who they're connected to. Their bloodlines are not traceable from Jesus Christ, my friends. They're not traceable from Mary Magdalene. That's a lie they want you to believe. You know who they trace them straight from? The seed of Cain. That's who they come from. Don't forget that. They are like their father, Lucifer, like the Luciferians and the vampires and the Satanists, and all of their, that's who they're, all of them are related, my friends. Okay, don't forget that. They're all related. They're all cousins in the same party. All right. I thought, let's see, what do we got here? I'm reading some of your things here. But anyway, I want to talk about another thing now, okay? Because time's wearing thin on us here. Okay. Bad news, time flies. Good news, you are the pilot. Okay. All right. But anyway, here's the thing I want to tell you. We'll talk about next. Spirit cooking. Have you heard about that? Are any of you familiar with spirit cooking? Okay, when I first heard about this, I said, oh, wait a minute, does not sound good at all. Okay. And it is really a social thing that this woman does. I cannot think of her name. I think her name is Abrahamic or something like that. And she goes around doing these social parties and doing all kinds of weird acts and doing stuff. Now she's got a thing called spirit cooking. But I'm gonna tell you what, I'm not gonna get deep into it. I don't want to sensationalize anybody like that. I don't want to give them any publicity. Okay, let me say something about this. It's just another ritual. Okay, that's all it is. Don't forget. Don't be fooled. Okay, it's just another ritual. All right. That's what I want to say about spirit cooking. Don't mess with it. Don't watch it. Don't hang around it. Don't give them any of your attention. Don't forget what I always say. Okay, don't give darkness your acknowledgement because then you empower it. Do not feed the beast. Okay, and you empower it sometimes just by watching it. Okay, let's not do that. But that's what the spirit cooking. Now I'm going to turn to another thing called spirit mapping. Okay. Now this is in the church. And I'm going to talk about that a few minutes. As a demonologist, I want to talk about spirit mapping. Now I want to explain what that is to you if you're not familiar with it. Spirit mapping, some churches or groups of church people get together and they say they're going to put a map out and mark the areas where they think demonic infestation is. Like if it's City Hall or someplace, or wherever it's at, they put a little X, a red X on it, so that's a demon infestation point. And we're going to send team members to these places just to pray the demons out of these places, okay? Well, that sounds like a great idea. Bringing spiritual warfare to the enemy, right? Bad idea. I'll tell you why, okay? You're just provoking something, okay? Jesus said that if you run into demons, yes, you can cast them out. Yes, you have power over them, but he didn't tell you to go looking for them to engage them in battle. That's not a good idea. Not spiritually. That's when they can attack you. Okay, it's a two-way street, and you're not just going against them; they can come against you, and you don't want to do that because you can do spiritual warfare when you run into them, but don't be a so-called demon hunter going out looking to fight these demons. That's not what your job is as a Christian. Okay, your job is to pray for people, and yes, to fight against the enemy, but you don't go out looking for a fight. That makes you one of the bad guys. Okay. It's not a good idea to do spiritual mapping, okay? On the whole, when you first hear about it, it sounds, hey, that sounds pretty good, something a good church group could do. And it's not really a good idea. You're asking for trouble. You're really asking for trouble, and I do not think God wants you to do that, okay? I mean, you better think about it very closely if you're involved in something like that. It's not a good idea to do that. I have actually had, I'll say, acquaintances, and they thought they were demon fighters. They thought they were mean, rough, tough, macho guys. I'll go out and I'll whoop them demons' butt. It turned out it went the other way really quickly. They found out you can't do that on your own power. That's only the power of God, not you. You're not a demon hunter. Okay. That's God's part. God said to me, the vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Not yours, mine. You let God take care of it. That's not what you're about. You'll end up like those two guys that got beat up by them demons and thrown out of the house. And the demons laughed at them and said, Paul, we know Peter, we know, but who are you? They came under their own power, not the power of God. I have had so many people come up to me over the years when I have actually cleaned places out, blessed people, had blessings and house cleansings, come up and say, oh, thank you so much, Mr. Carroll. Thank you so much. I said, please don't thank me. I don't do nothing. I'm just the vessel. God does it, not me. That's not me, okay? Don't thank me. I'm just here as a vessel. God is the one you need to thank, not me. People get their priorities mixed up sometimes. Joe said, when I had death curse, nobody wanted to help. Even priests would not talk to me. Well, you went to the wrong people, Joe. Okay. You saw out the wrong people. That can happen. A lot of them. I'm gonna tell you what. There are a lot of ministers, so-called ministers, and priests walking around out there. They're not the real deal, Joe. They're not the real deal. Okay. I have actually had some preachers tell me, I don't believe in a personal devil. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard a preacher say, because he is a real personal devil. He's real. He believes in you. He certainly does. But that's the power of the devil, that nobody will believe he actually exists. He wants that way. He wants to be secret and stay in the shadows. That's the way darkness works. They don't want to be for real for what they truly are, because then their game is up and they can't pull the wool over your eyes and insult your intelligence by deceiving you. That's the way they operate. I know how they operate. Yeah. But if you need help, please seek out the right people. I had a woman contact me just the other day. This poor woman has a demon problem, and I told her, please seek out the help of clergy, but let it be evangelical type clergy, because they're more open to this than certain other denominations. But I said, please seek out their help and get something done for yourself. Okay. That's what I mean. I wouldn't have helped her, but I wasn't. I mean, she's like thousands of miles away from me. But I wish if I had the money and I was rich enough and I could get on my own private jet and go where I wanted to, yeah, I would be a real ideal thing to do. But I don't have it. I'm afraid. I'm afraid I don't. I'm not like Taylor Swift. I don't have my own jet and fly off anywhere anytime I want. But if I did, I would really be able to help these people, definitely. But anyway, seek out the help that you can find. Ask around. Make sure. Real deal curse reversals from shaman costs about $1,000 US. Yeah, I don't go to shaman to charge money. Okay, no. If it's all about the money, you're dealing with the wrong people. Okay. I have never ever charged anybody one single penny for anything I've ever done. And I've been doing this for over half a century, my friends. Okay. I've never charged 1 cent. I take donations. If you want to donate something, that's fine. That's up to you. I do have expenses, but I do not ask you for money. I never will ask you for money for doing something like that. That's God's work. Why should I get paid for it? That don't make sense to me. To me, that's the way I look at it. Okay. That's just me. I'm not. If it's about the money, it's a completely different thing altogether. Okay. I don't want to be one of the money changers in the temple that gets thrown out. Vengeance belongs to God and the Most High. Absolutely. Except Batman, he's vengeance. Okay. Batman is vengeance. But now God said the vengeance is mine. That's who. You don't go out looking for a fight. If you run into him, you go in the fight and you encounter one, that's fine. That's supposed to be meant to happen. But you don't go out looking for trouble. Okay? No. That's not a good idea. But now if you want to have a prayer group and you want to pray for somebody, and if you want to pray for City Hall, yeah, do that. That's a prayer group. Sure, praying. I got nothing against that. Just don't go there and do that. You don't have to go there and do that. And you don't have to try to intimidate anything. You're doing about the wrong way. Have a prayer circle if you want to pray about something like that. Okay. If you think demons are taking over your town and taking over City Hall, you need to get together and pray about it. But you don't have to go sit in City Hall and do it. You'll only end up getting arrested, probably. Don't do that. It just don't look good. You don't have to do that. Okay, that's the main thing. God never asks you to do anything that you don't have to do. Okay, what did he say? Do not cast your pearls before swine. Don't throw your best effort out there to be trampled on. That's not good. That's not the way to do it. Okay, and he doesn't want you to do that. Taylor Swift, another witch. Well, I have heard rumors to that effect that Miss Swift may be on the dark side. People in shaman. Well, you can do, but you're not doing it for money. I'm saying when you start doing it for the money, you're usually in it for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way I look at it. I mean, what if somebody wanted to? Here's the thing about it: if somebody said, "Okay, you did this for me, that's fine. Can I get it? Did I donate a little money for your expenses or whatever?" Sure, if you want to do that, but don't ask for it. That makes you that. When you start asking and begging for money, that's not good. That's not good. And I don't care who you are. If you start begging for money, oh, I gotta have this, I gotta have that, and all that. It gets to be more about what the money. That's all it becomes about. Not helping people. Not really sincerely helping people. You know, that's what it becomes more about the money. She definitely was. Yeah, I wasn't. I tell you what, every time. I mean, she's real pretty to look at, but what does that tell you? Uh, looks don't ain't everything. I've seen some very pretty packages. I've seen some beautiful snakes that one bite would put you in the ground. Okay, it's pretty to look at, but watch out for the bite. I've known a lot of women like that. In my time, I've dated a few witches, but I won't get into that tonight. I think one of them was a real card carrying witch, but I won't talk about that tonight. Anyway. Glamour magic. Oh yeah, they got the glamour right. They could, for all you know, when after hours and when the lights are out, what she really looks like. You know what I'm saying? What the real deal is. You know. I have known some women who, after they remove their makeup, I still look. I was well, they still look very good to me. You know, they still. That's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the glamour, the image that they can get you to see or want you to see, fool you into believing that that's what you're seeing. That's the glamour. And it ain't glamorous at all, okay? It ain't good at all because what they're doing is performing another type of magic on you. I call it imagery magic. That's what it is. They're using imagery, however it may be used, and can be used in many different ways, okay? Because I have seen the demonic do that. Like I said, they look like little children. They can use imagery against you to get you to believe things. Sometimes they want you to believe. That's just how these things work. You do know that if they can shapeshift, they can definitely enhance certain imagery that they want to get you to believe things that aren't really true or they really are there. I think that's why sometimes we see the demon faces. I think it's an accident. They let their guard down. It slips for a minute. You know, you've been around false plastic people. You know, they say, oh, they so smiley and they so nice, and all of a sudden, once in a while, you see that mask slip a little bit on them. You know what the real person is under that. Okay, that's what you're dealing with here. Only it may be a demonic thing under there instead of a person. That's why I write about in my book, The Road Unseen. I have a passage in there where I say it's the thing wearing the mask that we should chiefly be concerned about. It's not what that image is putting forward at, it's what's behind that mask. What is what we need to worry about. And that's what we need to think about more often. Hello, Ron. Good to have you here, sir. But, you know, like I say, if you want to form a prayer circle and do things like that, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Nothing wrong with that. But you just don't want to go out looking for trouble. That's where the ego gets involved too, you know. Ego can do some very bad stuff, you know. Ego can really screw you up bad time. I used to have members in different groups that I used to have. I say, okay, now guys, when we go here and do this, you're all gonna hang your ego outside the door. Don't bring your ego in with you, okay? And then we'll get stuff done. And that's the way it goes, you know. The ego can really trip you up in a lot of things. And that's why if people start giving you a lot of money for doing something, you start saying, well, you know, I'm a lot better than I thought I was. Or maybe I ought to charge more money. I am really a whole lot, you know, better than some of these other people. I need the money. You become somebody like, what's his name? P. Diddy Combs, you know. You think you're above the law and everything else. That's when the ego really starts working away at you like a spiritual cancer. You don't want to get to that point. Can't prove, but it's most likely she is. Or she took a deal, but I don't want to sound like it. Well, she might have took a deal. I think a lot of deals have been made. You know, we've always heard about the political deals in the back room. It's not just political, my friends. There are a lot of dark contracts signed in this world. You would be surprised. There's a lot of evil going on. Sometimes it don't even bother anymore to hide itself. Sometimes, evil knows though it's just exactly how much you can get away with. You know, and that's why they push the envelope all the time. P Diddy, he's in real hot water. He ain't put himself there, nobody else did. Hey, werewolf, good to have you here. Yeah, uh, people like that, they get to think they're above the law. They can do whatever they want to. The money takes over. The ego takes over. They have sold their souls. And what did I say before? The number one sign of somebody actually selling their soul is that you lose your humanity. You're no longer human, really. You're not really human anymore. I don't know what you are, but you're not human. You're a lost soul. That's for sure. And I've seen people like that. I've had to deal with people like that in law enforcement. I ran into that all the time on a daily basis. People who are not, well, I think Jessica had a show about the other day. Uh, what was that? Non-player characters, NPCs, non-player characters. They're not there. They're not human. They're not. They don't have emotions. Like I said about that guy, I told you about that case I had. I talked about that on a talk show last night that I did, where he cut his girlfriend up in little pieces, ate a little bit of her, and then he went home, took a shower, and then took a nap. Think about that a minute. I asked him, I said, why did you do that? Why did you do that? You know what he said? I don't know. I don't know why I did that. I know why he did it. Because I could see the inhuman evil in his eyes. I know exactly why he did it. Absolutely. And that's what's going on in the world today. Like I've said so many times before, I know it sounds like a broken record, but it's true. There's a lot of things out there walking around. They look human and they're not human. And some of them used to be humans, but they aren't human anymore. That's what you got out there. That's what you got to do. And you may walk into those, you may run into those people at any time, my friends. Anytime. They don't care what they do. Don't care what they get away with. I think Jessica ran into some the other day when they were robbing her house. Okay. That's the way it goes. You're going to run into these people. Like I said earlier, you're nothing to them. You're blood cattle to them. That's all you are. You're nothing. You're not human to them. They have no feeling for you. They have no emotional rapport for you at all. You got to understand that. You're dealing, I'd rather deal with sharks. I'd rather swim with sharks. At least you know where you stand. You know? But these people, some of these people, and we all know people like that, will smile in your face while they stab you in the back and laugh about it. Yep, psychopaths. There's one. That right there is a good example of psychopaths like Charles Manson, John Wayne Gacy, whoever. Yeah, they got no feeling for you. They did. I saw an investigation. I would love to go there and investigate that place, the Spa Ranch in California. They did a paranormal investigation there. They got some freaky stuff. It was on YouTube. Some freaky stuff happened. They think there may be like around 30 something bodies hidden on that on the Spa Ranch. And they were like picking up EVPs all over the place, picking up weird stuff. I think I saved it on my channel. I have to go back and watch it. I would love to go out there. I've always wanted to go to the Spa Ranch. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is evil, pure, unadulterated, absolute evil. Okay, that's just the way it rolls. And you got to understand that's what's going on in this world today, and you're going to run into it sooner or later, whether you're going to take your dog for a walk and you're going to get in the car to go somewhere, or you're going to be in a Walmart parking lot, or you're going to be in a store somewhere. Evil's going to find you, my friends. Be ready for it. It's out to get us all, okay? But the good news is, we got more good on our side than they got on theirs, definitely. They ain't got no good on their side, okay? And evil is insidiously in its hatred for its own self, okay? We got the good guys on our side, and we got more good guys on our side than they got bad guys on theirs. I guarantee you that, without a doubt. I know that for a fact. Okay, we got to understand that. That's why, and eventually, in the end, we're going to win. Okay, when the cows come home and the barn door's shut, in the end, we're going to win. But until then, it's going to be a battle. Be ready, be wary, be watchful. Keep the head on the swivel, as Jessica says. Keep an eye on your six at all times, because evil is going to come looking for you, my friend. I hope you're ready for it, and I hope it doesn't do a job on you. And I'm sure it's probably already come looking for you. That don't mean it ain't going to come back. Okay? Be ready for it and understand that's what kind of world we're living in, because you and you and you and you and you and you and me, we are all now strangers in a strange land. Don't ever forget that. Haven't been to Walmart in years. I don't particularly. I never like to go there. That's not one of my favorite places. Really, I would, if I could do it and never had to leave my house again, I would become a hermit, probably. I'll be holed up in this house like the last man on earth. Okay, remember that movie, the Vincent Price movie, The Last Man on Earth? I'll be waiting for the vampires to come every night. Dennis, knock on my door. Come out, Dennis. I'll be holed up in here playing videos. No, not Walmart. I don't know. That's a dangerous place to be. Walmart parking lot is worse than actually inside a Walmart. That's bad enough. Parking lot's a whole lot worse. But like I say, don't think you're evil proof. I'm sorry to tell you, you're not evil proof. Okay? Absolutely not. By the way, it is a big old. That's what I can get it to work here. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on a minute. This Pardon me just a minute. This mouse and going crazy here. Just take it out. There we go. Doing some weird stuff here. I don't know what it's doing. I was going to say, by the way, we have a nice harvest moon in the sky out there tonight, but it's raining where I'm at, so I can't see it. But anyway, I got it here on the computer. Harvest moon. Fawn Force says a lot of weird things happened at strange things happened at Fort Campbell. Oh yeah, you have to tell us about it sometime. My youngest son works for the graveyard shift there. Let's see, almost Walmart, yeah. Almost in all I need my wife, my dogs, and me. There you go. He's almost a hermit, werewolf, yeah. Walmart never has good deals on meat. I think a lot of their meat comes from Mexico. I have a suspicion that it does. They're not even labeling meat anymore the way they're supposed to. But that's the way that goes too. The government's not on our side anyway. That's the way it goes. That's I'm gonna have to do a show one night about, and it's gonna make a lot of people mad, I'm sure. But I'm gonna do a show very soon on the 7 deadly lies. You heard of the 7 deadly sins? I'm gonna be doing one on the 7 deadly lies. And by the way, the 7 deadly sins has got a prince of hell for each one of them. By the way, I'll run over the list for you one night. There's 7 princes of hell, one for each of the 7 deadly sins. But I'm going to be talking about 7 deadly lies that we are being told. And some people's not going to like it, but I'm sorry. I'm just going to put it out there because that's me. It's super bright right now. Oh, I bet it is. Yeah, I remember one night in the mountains of West Virginia watching the harvest moon come up. It was beautiful. Ron Forrest says most of the military bases are built on natives' land. There have been many reports of orbs, skinwalkers, and other strange ones. Well, as you know, the Native Americans cursed their land, a lot of their land, especially their sacred areas, so that nobody is supposed to be able to enter them. And that's what you run into. I've run into that problem too. A lot of this cursed land was made that way by Native Americans. How about locally sourced meat, huh? Okay, werewolf, good idea. Aldi is better than Walmart, decent meat section. Oh yeah, I like Aldi. Aldi is one of my favorite places. I used to get some real good coffee there. They quit selling it. It was fantastic coffee. It came in the K cups, that's what I got. I got a little K cup coffee maker. And they quit having it though. It was some of the best doggone coffee. I think it was called Barista or something like that. But it's not the same. Well, they quit making it and they came back with the same name, but it's not the same coffee. Yeah, that's the way it goes. They get something good and they always mess it up. Yeah. Glad I can spell sometimes. We get dependent on spell checker a lot. Sometimes it tries to put words in our mouth that aren't there. That's the way it goes. As a writer, I have to watch out about that. But I love spell check because it frees you up to, Here's the thing about it as a writer. I'll tell you this, and you run into it as a writer. Your mind, your brain is a whole lot faster than your hands. That's just the way that goes. Okay. So anything that helps you speed the hand up is better, and the spell check helps with that. Yeah, it's good when it works. Sometimes it works against you. Aldi has better deals. Yeah, Aldi is good. Of course, they have a lot of off-brand stuff, but it's just as good as a regular brand. You're just paying for the name. A lot of times, you're just paying for the name. You know what I'm saying? That's the way that goes. Yeah, the name ain't worth paying more money for. Trust me, it ain't. Oh yeah, Crystal's out there in the Twilight Zone somewhere. Hello, Crystal. But anyway, yeah, that's the way it goes with the name. If you're buying off-brand meat, does that mean it's just all? Well, there was one time they found out that Aldi was selling, and they didn't realize they were doing it. They were selling horse meat, one time. So be careful what you're buying. This is America. We don't eat our horses. Okay. Hello, Crystal. Yeah, that just ain't the cowboy way. You don't eat your horse. So late, I had to go to Walmart. Crystal says, we were just talking about that fine establishment. Fort Campbell is huge, huh? Yeah, I've heard it's a big place. I have been by there, Ron, but never been in it. I mean, I've been by there, but Fort Campbell is big, very big. I guess if they didn't rename it, is it still Fort Campbell? They had to rename all of them because it wasn't politically correct or something. But that's the way it goes. But like I said, we are definitely strangers in a strange land. Hold on a minute, I gotta get my silver bullets up here. I had my silver bullets. Here's my silver. Had them sitting on my laptop there, and they rolled off. There they rolled off again. But anyway, never lose your silver bullets. They might come in handy for something like, if you run into a werewolf. You never know. But anyway, yeah, I had to pull that mouse down. Something happened to the mouse there. I don't know what's going on with it. It hangs up sometimes. And it was screwing up my thing. It got me one night. It messed up my feed, and I couldn't even end the stream. It was weird. Anyway, put the wrong thing up there. I get the mouse working again. But anyway, I like that new symbol there, Hunting the Shadows thing. Don't forget now, I have a Patron, and put that back up again for everybody. I have a Patron, whatever how you say that. I think it's Patron is actually how you pronounce it. And and if you want to go and you want to be a member, that's the way to go now. The heck with YouTube, okay? They can kiss my grits. But anyway, I'll try to get back into their good graces, but I don't think it's gonna work. But that's our Patron now, okay? And if you want to join, feel free to do so. And I do the only reason I'm pushing that, I'm not doing it for the money and all that stuff. I want to be all able to offer the members something very special, some really good stuff, and that's why I want membership things going, okay? Because I got some really good plans for some of that stuff. So if you're considering it, please do so. That's all I got to say. But like I say, I do have expenses. So anyway, if you can help, if you can help me out that way, that's fine and dandy. I'm not going to do Jim Baker and get up here and beg for money. But I'm just saying, I do have expenses. If you can help me out any way you can, it is greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you. From the bottom of my black heart. Jessica was talking about the other day, somebody like called her a witch. I've been called a lot worse than that. I've been told that I had a black evil heart. But anyway, and ain't it's red, okay? But I do have a heart of a 16-year-old. Okay, it's in a jar on my desk over there somewhere. But anyway, I'm joking here. Okay, I can't pull it up on Patron either. Huh? Well, it should be working. It's Hunting the Shadows podcast. It's Patron. It's patron.com/Hunting the Shadows podcast. Try that. And if you can't, send me an email and I'll send you the link if you need to. Yeah, maybe he needs to post a link under the video. Well, I did have that one time. Let me put that link back up for you. There it is. That's it. It's patron.com/Hunting the Shadows podcast. Okay. And see if that was where Patron. Actually, it's French for patriot. Patriot. You try to and you can't get in, huh? I don't understand what's going on with that. It's supposed to be published, supposed to be working. But I fixed it up last night. Maybe it's not had time yet or something. I don't know. Now that is Patron and the Patron.com is in lowercase letters. And the Hunting the Shadows podcast is in uppercase letters. Maybe that's what's going on. Links need time to work. I don't know. Maybe something's going on with that. I don't know. It's supposed to be working because I can get into the Patron and see it. I don't know why it shouldn't be working. It was kind of slow though. It took them a while to set it up. Patreon. The day is a tomorrow. Yeah. There you go. Well, I will go work on that and see what's going on with it. I don't know. Maybe it's he's setting up or whatever the situation is. Supposed to be set up. I published it. You publish it. It's what you do somehow or another. But anyway, I'll have to check on it and see. Well, that's going to do it for the night. I really appreciate you all being here. And we've gone well over an hour with this. But like I say, be aware, especially you ladies out there in the woods. And watch out for Bigfoot. And be careful when you're out there. Especially certain times of the month. And keep an eye on, keep your head on swivel, your eye on your six, wherever you go. Like I said, evil's out looking for all of us. We've got targets on our back now. We need to understand them. And I will see you all if the creeks don't rise, God willing, Friday night for a paranormal point of view. We're going to talk about movies. I've got some other stuff we're going to talk about then. And we should have an interesting night for Friday night. I'm lining some guests up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to get Barry Littleton back on here. I want to talk to him about movies. He and I are big movie fans, so I'll get together and talk with him about movies and TV shows and stuff. So it'll be a little bit of an offbeat thing for what he usually talks about. So we'll try to get him lined up on that too. So and who knows? One day I may come looking for Jessica Jones as a guest on this show. You never know. You never know. But anyway, I appreciate you all being here tonight. And your support is paramount. It is greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. I can't stress that enough. I really do appreciate it. And like I said before, we are family. This is your podcast too. It belongs to you as well. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay. And I want to tell you how much I appreciate you. And once we get this Patreon set up, and we'll get some interesting stuff out there to you, definitely. And who knows? I may even have a contest. I got something very interesting I can give away, so I may have a contest on that coming up in the near future. So be watching that as well. I hope you all have a splendid rest of the week. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. If you do, don't get caught at it, okay? And I will see you back here Friday if nothing happens. And until then, remember, non tembo mala. That means fear no evil. Until we get together again, my friends, Godspeed.